Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It looks like a few folks are still logging in, so we'll give them a few minutes and then we'll get started shortly. Thank you for waiting. Sorry, I didn't realize I muted myself there. I'll start over. Hello, everyone. My name is Henry Duong, and I'm the Program Manager and Grants Monitor at the Mayor's Office on Asian and Pacific Islander Affairs. Welcome to the FY21 AAPI Community Grant Reviewers Orientation. Uh, thank you all for joining us today, and thank you for volunteering your service to help us review the community grants. We know that this is a very critical time for our community, as we know that the CBOs, the community-based partners and organizations that we work with are suffering right now. So they really need this funding from our office. So before we get started, some housekeeping items. This meeting is being recorded and will be shared with all of you after the meeting. If you're not familiar with WebEx, there are a chat box and Q&A functions where you can send us your questions or comments. When you look at the video screen, you will see several circular icons in the bottom section. Please click on the circle with the chat bubble and make sure it's blue. You can send your questions there in the chat box or Q&A. We will be monitoring the chat box and Q&A throughout the session, and we will save all the questions till the end. So let's get started with today's presentation. Here's the agenda. We will start off with introductions of Moabia's grants team. I'll give an overall overview of the grant program, talk about the reviewing and scoring process and criteria, go over ZoomGrants, which is our grants management system, and then we will have a Q&A section. Next slide. First, again, I'm Henry. I'm the grants monitor. We also have Lee Lei, who's our grants manager. And I think you've all been talking with Lee the most. And then we also have Ngoc Trin, who is our director of operations. She oversees the entire grant program. So first off, the FY21 Moabia Asian and Pacific Islander Community Grant will fund culturally and linguistically appropriate programs in the District of Columbia that serves our AAPI community. This grant starts on October 1st, 2020, and goes through September 30th, 2021. Next slide, please. This year, there's a slight reduction in the amount of funding, but we have $200,000 and $13,000. The award size, the award limit is going to be $55,000, and then we hope to send out the award notifications to grantees by mid-September this year. Next slide. And these are the funding areas that Mayor Muriel Bowser has prioritized, and they are education, jobs and economic development, public safety, civic engagement, health and wellness, youth engagement, and arts and the creative economy. And here is the list of eligibility or requirements that we're looking for. This you don't have to worry particularly about because our office is going to do the pre-screening after 5 p.m. today. Once the application period closes, myself, Lee, and Ngoc, we're going to go in and look at all the applications, and once they are assigned to you, they should be all qualified applicants. But anyways, here are the requirements that we're looking for. They must be a 501c3 tax-exempt organization, or they have a relationship with a 501c3 organization. Their principal place of business must be in the District of Columbia. They must provide services and programming in DC. They must serve the DC's Asian and Pacific Islander community. This doesn't mean that they only have to serve our AAPI community, but they must have a history, or they're looking to expand their programming to serve the AAPI community. They must be registered and in good standing with the DC Department of Consumer and Regulatory Affairs and the Office of Tax and Revenue. And then if they are current grantees of Moabia, they must meet all reporting obligations. And once again, we will factor all these things in before we assign them to you. Next slide. And here is the application checklist. In the main part, this will all be in ZoomGrants. It's all in one place for you all. So we're asking for the proposal summary, the program or project narrative, a collaboration. If two organizations are partnering together, we need to have a description of which organization will do what, and then their programming goals and objectives, and then their organizational capabilities, like their history of working with the AAPI community, if they have the language and cultural capacity to serve the community, and then if they have a fundraising plan. Next slide. And then these are the attachments that we're asking grant applicants to submit. There are certifications and assurance. We will check that. An agency profile, their budget. This budget is like the budget for the grant cycle, for the FY21 grant cycle. And then a staffing plan, their work plan, This next part is something new that we're asking. It's because of COVID and DC still being in a socially distant posture. So we are asking for a community and a socially distant and virtual engagement plan. We can talk more about this later on. And then an overall performance plan. Next slide. And then applicants are also asked to submit job descriptions, staff resumes, their organizational chart, current list of their board members and their affiliation, a copy of their current organizational budget, a balance sheet or an audited financial statements, a copy of their IRS tax exempt determination letter, and then if they are working with a partner, they submit an MOU to us. Next slide. So this is the grant review process. This is not on here, but like I said, Moabia will do the initial pre-screening to make sure that all the applicants that you're reviewing are qualified. And then it's up to you guys. You guys are considered our external review panel. You guys were picked because you are professionals in the field. You are leaders in the community. So we think that you would know of these organizations, and you are neutral and qualified folks to help us review and see if the proposals are sound and if it will benefit the community or not. Next up, it will go back to Moabia, where our director of operations, grants manager, and then grants monitor myself will look at the scoring and the amount of money that so you are also recommending the amount of funding that this organization might receive. They could be requesting $50,000, but you think that their proposal is not up to par. You could just recommend them to receive $20,000 or $25,000 instead. And then after we do our review, we will have to send it to the Grant Advisory Review Board. And this is the mayor's chief of staff, the mayor's deputy chief of staff, the mayor's office on community affairs director, and then the city's legal counsel to review and to make sure that they are all in good standing with the city. Next slide. So this is the application and reviewing process or criteria. We're looking for the soundness of the proposal, which means that the program results in the program results in accomplishment of the program goals, objectives, outcomes that are consistent with the program proposal. The description of the program implementation, including work plan, is realistic and based on the proposed timeline. And this is 20 points. Program goals, objectives, and services. We need the goals and objectives to be clearly defined, measurable, and then time specific. Like if they are proposing to do something in Q1, is it sound for them? Does it make sense that they can like do like an initial study or something like that in Q1 and then start to implement their project in Q2, 3, and 4? Something like that. Applicant demonstrates a clear effectiveness of their services and activities in accomplishing the program goals and objectives. And applicant demonstrates that the program is using best practices based on national standards. And this is 15 points. Program evaluation. Applicant demonstrates a clear process to measure and evaluate their program. This can include evaluating their staff's performance based on the grant, evaluating the program participants, like the residents. They have evaluation forms that they give or surveys that they give out at their events or like virtual events, and the satisfaction scores that residents give to them. And then that's 15 points. Next is very, very important to us is the organizational capability and relevant experience, which is 25 points. We are looking for applicants who demonstrate qualifications and pass experiences to provide services applied for and in serving the community. Information on prior program evaluations, findings, and changes made as a result should be referenced. Applicant demonstrates capacity to work with the district's community and language minority population. So if they are serving the AAPI community, they either need to have bilingual staff, or they should have access to a language line or a language interpretation bank of some sort that they can utilize when they interface with an limited or non-English proficient resident. And then their staff roles and responsibilities should be clearly defined in this. This is why that the reviewing the resumes of staff is important. And then they demonstrate an established organizational structure and its ability to administer the proposed program and function as the lead organization through the submission of the operational and programmatic staff. And this is 25 points. Next up, we have the sound fiscal management budget, which is 15 points. Applicant must demonstrate sound fiscal management and disbursement of the grant funds to partners if needed, and submission of the lead organization's annual audit, financial statements, cash flow, and the applicant's budget with budget justification. So if they're proposing to print 1,000 flyers, then they should say like these 1,000 flyers will be used at certain events. If they're printing swag and like different things, like is it reasonable for us right now to be out in the community in at least the first 2 quarters to hand out these swag items or not? So these are things that we have to look at. And then next is the community outreach, which is 10 points. Applicants must demonstrate sound community outreach plan to connect to the DC community, whether they're serving residents or businesses, to promote the programs and services to the potential new clients, as well as raise awareness for DC issues. And then opportunities include tabling at various government events and other activities. And the total is going to be 100 points. And then you will submit your scoring on ZoomGrants. You will have the description in front of you as you go over each item and you look at their application. Next slide, please. So this is the community and community social distancing and virtual outreach plan that I mentioned. Because of COVID, we asked applicants to submit a community and social distancing virtual engagement plan for Q1 and Q2, and then a normal operations plan for Q3 and 4. And then we also asked them to submit a contingency plan just in case social distancing continues into Q3 and 4. And you should see this in their main the body of the application, or if they have submitted it in their attachments, so in their supporting documents tab. So these are 2 areas to look out for. And if you don't see it, try looking. If you don't see in the main body, look in the supporting documents first. And if you don't see it at all, just leave a note for us so that we can make the proper judgment on whether to reach out to them or not. Next slide, please. Next, my colleague Li Lei will go over ZoomGrants and show you what it actually looks like to be in ZoomGrants. Li, go ahead.
Thank you, Henry. Hello, everyone. My name is Li Lei. I am grant manager at Mayor's Office on Asian and Pacific Islander Affairs. And as some of you might know, this year all applications must be scored online in ZoomGrant, starting from today to August 14 at 3 p.m. And reviewers will review and score about like 2 or 3 proposal. And in order to review applications on ZoomGrants, you must have an account. And for any reviewers who do not have a ZoomGrants account, I have set up for you an account with password using your provided email. And for any previous reviewers who have had an account already, I have sent a reset password link to your provided email. But just in case you didn't receive it or couldn't find it in your mailbox, please let me know. I'm happy to resend it to you. Like I said, previously during the Previder conference, that Moapia is not equipped with troubleshooting, issue troubleshooting technically. So please submit or send a ticket to ZoomGrants technical support team through this link right here, or call them at this customer service number during Mountain Time Zone. And of course, you will receive this PowerPoint after the meeting. Okay, so today I'm gonna go over two parts which are really important to your review process, and they are reading applications and scoring applications. I'm going to share my web browser with everybody so you can see how it's going to work. Okay, so to log in ZoomGrants, you will type on the web browser zoomgrants.com, and you will see a button say login on really up top on the orange bar, and you click on it. So you can log on to ZoomGrants using your email address that we assigned with the password, and click on login. And this site will open a page which includes a listing of the grant programs that you can see on the right hand side where I highlighted right here. So these are the programs that you are assigned to review. But since this account got assigned with only one program, so you only can see one. And here in this portal, every single link will be colored orange. So you click on this link, and once you choose the grant program to review, by clicking on that link earlier that you wish to review, the link will open your program dashboard for that program, and across the top right here you will see a series of tabs that include dashboard, applications, and data. And to see the applications, you can click on the application. I just click on it. Okay, so in order to read the information for each application, you can click on the application title, orange down here, and you can only review or score the application that go with the letter A on your left hand side, your left hand, like this. For example, I got assigned with two applications, and you will see two letter A orange one on the very left hand. So I'm gonna click on the application title right here to read the application. Okay, so after clicking on that title, it will open a full application which consists of series of tabs such as application summary, which includes contact information for the applying organization down here. And the next tab would be pre-application, which reviews the application's responses to the pre-application questions, which help determine whether an organization meets the threshold to complete the full application. And the next one would be application questions, which contains the bulk of information that reviewers need to read. Questions are specific to the grant program for each organization that are applying. So the next tab will be proposed plans and reporting. And this tab provides a literal snapshot of budget funding sources and expenses and a brief narrative, information that explains budget items on the right-hand side. Or for example, if you want to review other plans that organization submitted, you can scroll down um, to throughout the tab. And this proposed plans and reporting tab will include budget summary, staffing plan, work plan, and performance plan. So you might see a quarterly reporting table right here, but we disabled it, so you don't have to worry about it, and just focus on reviewing other tables. And as Henry mentioned earlier, there are two work plans, and we named it aka work plan 1, work plan 2. Okay, so work plan 1, you will find it right here under proposed plans and reporting tab. And work plan 2 locates as an attachment under supporting document tab. I just click on it, supporting document tab. And that plan locates at the end of the list called contingency work plan. Okay, so the last tab would be supporting documents. We already here, and this includes uploaded documents required for all applicants. At the minimum, reviewers should read the document related to budget, performance measures, work plans, but however, feel free to review anything on the page as well. Okay, so the next part will be scoring applications. Well, when you have an application open right here, like where we are, the header will include a button that links to review tools. And you can find a button right here at a pointer where the green hand is. When you are ready to score the application, you can click on the Review Tools button to open a page that provides scoring criteria and allows you to select your scores for the application that you are currently reviewing. Okay, so scoring requires responding to a series of questions, basically 14 questions about the application. For each question, you can basically select a score in the score drop-down menu right here. And the lower number indicates a poor applicant response. And if applicable, you may also enter some comment right here for each scoring questions, which is to 50 characters limited. And also, you may also enter private notes in the field near the bottom. You can scroll down almost at the end of the page. You will see the my private notes section where I highlighted here, and also you can see the notes that you enter into my private notes. Also, you can enter comments for a mobile team to see if desired as well at this area all the way down to the web page. And this is the area that you can input additional general scoring comments as needed. Okay, so like I said earlier, during the reading application part, you will see there's a lot of tabs, and you might wondering, where should I get back there? Well, you can scroll all the way up and you see back to full application. I just click on it and it brought me back to the previous view with a lot of tabs. But you're wondering, like, what if I want to get back to the scoring area? Okay, you just need to click on Review Tools button. And that's it. However, some of you might, feel a little bit lazy. You don't want to get back there and get back in here, so you can find all the information on your right-hand side section where I'm highlighting them right here. You can find every single thing, including contact information, pre-application questions, application questions, as well as plans, budget, and supporting documents as well down here. So basically, you don't have to get back to the earlier viewed for scoring. Okay, so next one would be record your recommendation to Moabra team. And you can scroll up to the top, and near the top, almost near, okay, almost near to the review tool page is a field called vote and recommended funding amount. So you can select from the drop down menu right here to record your recommendation. Options are approve, decline, or abstain or recuse. And in the recommended amount field, just enter the funding amount that you recommend for the application. But of course, this is not an official decision. Moabia team and another party will discuss applications, prior to final decisions. And please keep in mind that ZoomGrants save automatically, but you can also go back to the review tools and change your scores if desired. And the ZoomGrants system will automatically save your responses. Simply by click out somewhere after you enter something in the field, just click out and it's saved. Okay, so so you might see I had to reload my browser because there's some sort of echo, but feel free to do it too. If you lose any information, you can re-enter that. If not, just reach out to ZoomGrant technical support team. They will help you out with that. And last but not least, if you want to return to the list of your assigned applications to score the next one, basically just click on the application tab up here. Okay, you can see at the green and okay, I'm gonna click on it, and it will bring you back to the list of applications and the ones that you got assigned. So you can continue the scoring process if you want to. And you might also log in, log out, or return as needed if you cannot get through all the applications in one sitting. And of course, all this information will be attached in the follow-up email. If you have any other questions, I'll be happy to help, but please rely heavily on the technical support team that is provided on the slide deck. And I think it's pretty much it for ZoomGrant, and I'm gonna pass it on back to Henry.
All right, thank you, Lee. So I guess we're on to the Q&A section. I do see a few questions here.
Hello, Henry. May I say something before we move to the Q&A?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yes. Hi, everyone. This is Ngọc. So I want to reiterate to everyone that the due date for the result of the review is on the 14th of August. And this is a hard due date. We cannot give any extension because of the very short time frame that we have in order to release the grant, hopefully by next month. So that's one thing. The second thing I want to say is that when you look at the grant, please look at the what they say they want to do in the questions. The first session, the first section in the questions for the grantees, what they are proposed to do, what they are proposing to do, and then compare it with the work plan and the performance measure to see if it makes sense. Because if you read them separately, both of them might sound very good, but if you connect them together, they might not connect. The work plan might not serve what they say they want to do. So I've seen that multiple times. So that's one thing I want to point out that that you want to look out for. Another thing is that if they say they are recruiting or serving 10,000 APIs, for example, I've seen it, an application that's submitted this morning that says 10,000 API. If they say so, immediately look for a plan. How are they going to reach out to that many people? And do they have a sound plan for it? And do they have track record of having that done in the past? Or do they have a network of themselves that can help them achieve that goal? Or they are partnering with someone that can help them achieve that. If they say that they are partnering with someone, they need to submit an agreement with that partner, not just a sentence saying we are partnering it with XYZ, or not just a letter of support from that organization. It has to be an MOU saying what organization is in charge of what. Another thing to look out for is the budget. One thing for the budget is that only maximum 15% can be spent on indirect cost. Indirect cost can be things like the audit fee, the payroll services, the accounting services, that kind of things are indirect cost. It cannot exceed 15%. Another thing is that it cannot be the budget they are proposing cannot be used to pay stipend to participants or donate to an organization or a cause of their choice, or give out as a sub-grant to others. So it has to be used to pay for services that serve this grant. I think that's it, and we are ready to answer questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ngọc. So the first question is that, will you be sharing the presentation slide deck with reviewers? Yes, we will be. We will be sharing the recording and the PowerPoint slide. Next, when will the applications be sent? There's nothing in my queue currently. So the application closes for applicants at 5 p.m. today, and then our team will go in after 5 p.m. to pre-screen all the applications, and then hopefully by 8 or 9 p.m. tonight, we will send you guys your assignments so you can get started on it this weekend. And then I think the last day for reviewers is August 14th, like Ngọc said. Is there a time that we're giving
3
to?
p.m.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
3 p.m.
So 3 p.m. on August 14th is the deadline to submit your reviews in. And then for the virtual outreach plan, we had a discussion about like what are like high quality and like personal touch things that we're looking for. a lot of our grantees this in FY20 like said that they would like do social media postings and like the amount of people they can reach on there. But we know that, you know, a social media post is not the same as a phone call to a resident. So we are looking for more like higher quality touch points with residents, like phone calls. If they're doing meal like meal deliveries, they're like putting flyers into things like those are the higher touch things that we're looking for. We have a less emphasis on like the number of social media followings or the amount of likes they can get on a post.
Thank you, Henry, for bringing that up. And also look out for something um, if they propose something that that required in-person contact. Would that be something that can be done during this circumstance that we are in right now? If they are proposing a big event in the first quarter, for example, definitely flag it.
Yeah, because I think right now there's still there is still a ban on large gatherings of more than 50 people.
Yeah. And an organization has to be based in DC. So the address they use for their business license has to be in DC. But they don't have to be an organization owned by an AAPI or only serve AAPI. But this program in particular that they are applying for the grant with Moapia has to serve AAPI in DC. And by saying API in DC, it can be residents and business owners or business owners.
Right. We have another question here. When you were going over the requirements, I was wondering, will they be pre-screened for eligibility before they get to us, or will we need to screen? So yes, our team will screen the applicants before they are assigned to you. So when you see the little mark on ZoomGrants next to whichever application that you get assigned, it means that that application is fully qualified for this grant. All right. Our team will be here until 3 p.m. If you don't have any more questions, you can feel free to hop off. But if you do, you can just stay on and type them into the chat box for us to answer.
Thank you, everyone.
Let's see. Matthew said that he sent the messages to host. Lee, can you see if you saw any messages from Matthew?
I saw some questions right here. I'm gonna copy it and paste it on the channel, the general channel.
Oh, can you just read it out?
Okay. So Matthew asked, who can see the comment on the scoring page? Just your office or can the applicant? The answer would be so if you enter the comments for yourself at my private comment section. There will be only you can see it, but the general comments only can be accessed by mobile team and you yourself, not the applicant. The next question would be, do they submit a line item with indirect cost?
Yes.
Okay.
And then in each line item, there's always a description of what the line item means. Like they can just write consultant, but we need more information on what the consulting service is going to be.
Okay, so Matthew already asked, what do we do if we see someone we know on board or staff of applicant?
That would be like depending on the nature of the relationship. If it is if it is someone you know well and someone you work with and support, then it would be a conflict of interest. So in that case, please alert us of your relationship with a board member or with a director or staff.
Thank you. Next question would be, I assume our review is limited solely to what is in application.
Can you read
Can
that?
you say it again?
So the question, let me rephrase the question again. So are our reviewer limited solely to what is in the application?
Yes.
Yeah.
Next question would be, you are saying no stipends. What else can be covered? I mean, what else cannot be covered?
Direct anything. Oh, what else cannot be? We can send a list of things that are not allowed. Food, for example.
Yeah, food,
or
beverages.
Food-related items like plates, utensils, that kind of things are not allowed either. Political support for candidates or for any or donations for causes.
Or you using the funds for lobbying.
Yeah, or to cover for another grant. No, you can't do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the last question. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to place it under the chat box to everyone, so other members can see it as well.
I think if we don't have any other questions, we can end the meeting here, and we'll share this with everyone who signed up to review.
All right. So I'll share the slide deck and reporting come along with the score breakdown.
Henry, I think you are mute.
Oh yes, Glee, can you put up your contact info again? Yes, you can send your any follow-up questions to Lee at her email.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, for your support.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Henry, and thanks, Lee.
All right.